When playing a video game, have you ever had this happen to you? Your character clips through the game's geometry, leaving the intended play area. Now, have you ever wondered what would happen if you did this in real life? Some believe you would enter these so-called backrooms, an alternate dimension to our own reality, which seemingly defies many laws of space and time. Many of you might be familiar with the following images, depicting what appear to be endless empty hallways, covered in yellowing wallpaper with a damp carpet and some fluorescent lighting. While this is what most people associate with the backrooms, it is in fact only the first of thousands of levels that the term encompasses, and while most people assume the backrooms would be empty besides you, they are in fact not. Today, we'll be taking a look at one of the mysterious entities that inhabits some levels within the backrooms. For the purposes of this video, an entity in the backrooms dimension will be defined as anything living that isn't another person, which, despite appearances, the following creature certainly isn't. Let's take a look at Entity 10, the Skin Stealer. Should you manage to clip into the backrooms, the Skin Stealer will likely be among the first entities you will encounter, since they are mainly found around the first 4 levels. That said, they can also occur deeper, so you shouldn't let your guard down. In their natural form, they resemble tall, pale humanoids with light yellowish skin. Their limbs are disproportionate to their body, which is topped with a distinguishable head, complete with sunken white eyes and a mouth opening. Upon closer inspection, their outer layer of skin is covered in microscopic suction bumps, similar to a tentacle of an octopus, which it uses in combination with its seemingly soft and malleable flesh as a means of disguise. Finally, the blood of a skin stealer is completely translucent, which is a good way to distinguish them from regular humans. But now, you might be a little confused. The description you just heard sounds nothing like a regular human after all. Well, let's talk about this entity's behavior. Typically, skin stealers are docile, aimlessly wandering the liminal rooms, hallways, and corridors they inhabit, unless provoked. When hungry, however, they will enter an aggressive state where they actively seek out human victims. Should they get their deformed limbs on one, they will utilize their surprising strength to kill it, and then proceed to devour the victim's flesh, tearing off the skin in the process. I'm fairly certain you can guess what comes next given their name. The Skin Stealer will grab the torn skin, stretching and pulling it over its own body until completely covered. This is when the microscopic bumps on the skin engage, suctioning the skin on tightly, while pumping blood and nutrients into it to stop it from decomposing and make it warm to the touch. Additionally, any cuts and bruises the victim might have had will rapidly heal, making the entity almost indistinguishable from the human it just devoured. After about 24 hours, the victim's skin will be digested and absorbed through the outside of the skin stealer's body, returning it to its natural form and rendering it docile until it feels the need to feed again. Of course, this behavior makes them at times extremely difficult to distinguish from other humans wandering the backrooms. As a final touch, the skin stealer can actually speak, though it seemingly lacks the ability to fully understand language due to its low intelligence. In most cases, it will only repeat what it hears, regardless of the language, and has even been confirmed to use this to lure in unsuspecting prey, but it is never used as a means of communication. Generally, this speech will only consist of a random assortment of words or short snippets of sentences. However, the entity only uses this ability rarely, and thus, it shouldn't be used as a core way of distinguishing them from humans. Should you see one in its docile state, your best strategy is to slowly and calmly walk away, making sure not to aggravate it in any way. Additionally, when encountering other humans, especially ones that barely speak or seem to not make any sense, always check for the color of their blood. If it's transparent, you know what you're dealing with. But that is pretty much everything we know about this fascinating entity. It isn't known whether skin stealers communicate with one another, or form any sense of communities. It's not known whether they only consume human flesh, or also get nutrition from other places. And unfortunately, it also isn't known where these entities come from, how they came to be, or whether they have any means of reproduction. What is known, however, is that they can be very dangerous, which earns them the Class 5 classification for hazard, and makes them a very unpleasant thing to run into, just after you've managed to clip out of bounds of the current reality. But that brings us to the end of this video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, maybe consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. All of those would be very much appreciated. If there are other creatures like this, or other things regarding the Backrooms you would want me to cover, make sure to leave it down in the comments as well. I would very much like to read it. And with that, I'm gonna wish you all a beautiful rest of today, and I'll see you in whatever next video I make. Bye bye.